With EVO 2025 coming up, I know there's a lot of interest in fighting games right now, not just from new players, but from old returning players. Thanks to Marvel Tokon being announced and Street Fighter doing so well recently, I know that there's a lot of eyes on the fighting game community again. So let's talk about why EVO champion Takedo said,
Fighting game is something so great.
and why you might want to be involved in that. I'm going to start this video out by saying I don't think fighting games are for everyone, and that is perfectly fine. If you are just not interested, well, I don't know why you'd be on this video, but if you're just not interested in fighting games, that's okay. One of the biggest reasons why I think fighting games have gotten a lot more attention recently is actually due to a lot of our new releases and the success of Street Fighter 6. I would highly encourage considering playing some of these modern releases, particularly Street Fighter 6 right now. It's almost August of 2025. Street Fighter has just entered into its third season, and though that might feel like it's a little late for you to hop on board, there's so much good content out there to help you A, catch up in skill level, but B, the game is built with like a low threshold to entry, but a high skill ceiling. So it's really easy to get into and just start playing. I mean, a good example of this is the Sajam Slam, where he's taking streamers who haven't really played fighting games, putting them with pros, and they're quickly getting very good at Street Fighter. But even if you're not interested in Street Fighter, I think Marvel Tokon has really stoked a lot of flames, and that's going to be coming. I mean, they're having a demo at EVO. It's probably going to be next year sometime when they come out, but it's a really exciting time for Marvel fans. So if maybe you're a Marvel old head, or maybe you just really like the Marvel characters because of the films that have come out in the last decade, really should consider playing it. I think the primary reason you should play fighting games is because you think the game you're playing is cool, whether that's like Invincible Versus or some old game. Fighting games are awesome because the games are fun, and if you're not going to enjoy the game, maybe fighting games aren't for you. However, I want to talk a little bit about the barrier to entry, because I think a lot of people think fighting games aren't for them and they're not having fun because they can't play the game. Modern releases have really helped a lot with lowering that barrier to entry. There's less execution, there are better tutorials, there's better online guides from the developers as well as just players in general. And I think the biggest thing for modern releases, and this is something that fighting games have just been messing up for a long time, is that the online actually works. So it's a lot easier for you to get matches with people closer to your skill level. So though it may seem scary and seem like the game's not for you, if you enjoy the one-on-one aspect and you enjoy training and learning and growing, fighting games are a perfect game for you. And modern releases specifically have made it much easier to get into. The simplifying of gameplay has been a bit of a controversy in the fighting game community, but as a new player or even just a returning player to fighting games, I think that it's really a big benefit and a big boon. A good example is Street Fighter 6 Modern Mode, being able to do one button specials and being able to have some auto combo type things to help you not only learn the game but compete in the game. Modern is a valid way to play the game. Tekken sort of has done something like this too. While it's still complex and it has large move lists, there's a lot of stuff that's become a little more universal, a little more homogenized, so there's less to learn, even though there's still a lot to learn in a game like Tekken. This makes it easier for newer players, returning players, even people who've been playing fighting games who just want to learn another fighting game. It makes it easier to transfer and learn and grow. One of the biggest factors you should consider when you're trying to decide if you want to really get into fighting games deep is how much time and depth there is to most fighting games. Even though I've been kind of talking about how modern games are easier to get into, most modern fighting games, as well as old fighting games, all have a very high skill ceiling. If you're a person that enjoys training, practicing, and learning a game, then you would really enjoy fighting games in general. But if you want to be super mindless and just turn on a game and relax and enjoy yourself, this might not be for you. When I think about people who probably would enjoy fighting games, I think of Souls fans who take the time to learn attack patterns and strategies. I think about even tactical game fans who are willing to think through things. As much as fighting games do have reaction component and a strategy that way, most fighting games are knowledge based. It's standing in a thing trying to figure out what your opponent's going to do and using that to your advantage. So if you kind of enjoy trying to outthink your opponents, trying to outskill your opponents, fighting games, that's basically the core of all fighting games. And if that sounds enticing to you at all, it might be worth you taking time to actually play and consider playing, just due to the depth and the variety that you can get from fighting games. It feels endless to me, which is great for some people, it's bad for other people. So the last thing I'll talk about on this subject is the community. I think the biggest reason that I'm still playing fighting games in general is because we have such a vibrant and bombastic community. This dates back to the arcade days, sort of like the birthplace of the FGC itself, where people met up together, they were shoulder to shoulder playing games, everyone was talking and just having a good time. Unlike a lot of other esports, fighting games have kind of grown a spirit of local independence. What I mean by that is we don't need the developers in order for us to run events and to have hangouts and meetups and things like that. We don't need the creators of these games to be involved for us to run major tournaments. I mean, you got Combo Breaker, Evo, Frosty Faustings. Evo technically is owned by Sony now, but before that, there was no major publisher behind it. Our community has grown grassroots off the backs of our hard work and our passion for the games that we love. And that's a big part of the reason why we have so many locals, or local events. Though this isn't true for every area, there are lots of local community spots to meet up and play fighting games, which is very different from a lot of other esports communities. And I think this is a huge reason for you to consider playing fighting games. If you're looking for a third space, if you're looking for somewhere to go and do things, the FGC has a lot to offer for you, whether it be local events held at a card shop or at your local arcade, or the big events like Evo coming up or Combo Breaker. There are places to go to meet other people who are like-minded to you. And the thing is going to a physical event, there are players that are terrible at the game that go and just go 0-2 and hang out with their friends and have a good time and cheer for people that they like. And there are people who are pro level players who just still go to their local events even though they're making that big money and winning trophies. It's sort of the spirit of the FGC. That sort of camaraderie that you get when you're all playing games together, and it's all kind of traces back to the arcade era. Even outside of going to things physically, it's such an important thing to the FGC that we've begun creating online locals like Tampa Never Sleeps and Can Opener and things like that, where you can go online onto a Discord and play a bunch of people, the same people every week, talk to them and have that time where you're building bonds and things like that. It's just something that's so intrinsic to the FGC, and I think that it's one of the two primary reasons why you should play fighting games. You should play fighting games if you like the game, and if you want to make friends and build yourself as part of a community. Fighting games have more variety, are more accessible, and have more depth than ever right now. And on top of all that, they have an entire ecosystem built around it for people to go meet up and play games. They can be everything from a simple hobby that you play every now and again with your buddies on the couch, to something that you put hours into training and flying to events and participating and competing and hosting tournaments and running streams for. Fighting games truly have a community around them. And that's the biggest reason why I think here in the year 2025, you should come join us and play some fighting games. Editing Theo here. I wanted to also do a quick plug for a couple of events that are coming up. Evo's just around the corner. If you haven't checked out my video about what to do at Evo and what's going on around it, check it out here. And if you're in town on Thursday, we do have a couple of events going on. Here are two of the main ones that we have going on for Evo, pre-Evo stuff. So come hang out with us and check things out. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. If you want to know how to get involved in your communities, or if you just want to talk and ask questions about what it's like playing fighting games if you're new, I'm here. If you look through my channel, I've kind of been about supporting the locals and going to events for a long time, so feel free to reach out. Get out there and support your locals, or you can come support mine. So while editing this video, I ran into that old Dark Souls meme of everyone dancing, this one here in the background, and it just unlocked a bunch of childhood memories. I remember just hanging out and loving this specific video. Younger me was just all in that mindset. Play Elden Ring Night Raid. Hit me up, we'll play together.